If you have been trying to grow on YouTube, you probably heard this advice 1,000 times. Just look at what's working and make your own version. Sure, it sounds simple, find a viral video, change it a bit, and you'll get views too, right? I mean, after 4 failed channels and countless videos that barely hit 1,000 views, I discovered something different. The fastest growth doesn't come from chasing trends, it comes from focusing on solving real problems in your unique way. I'm going to show you exactly how this approach take my channel from 0 to 100k subscribers in just 3 months and then to 1 million in only 2 years. Some people look at these numbers and think, oh, it's just because she's pretty. But what they don't see are the 4 years of failure and all the times I want to quit, but I didn't. But finally change everything wasn't my appearance. I mean, it's been the same, but it was transforming my entire approach to content creation. And today, I'm taking you behind the scenes of my complete video making process, from finding video ideas that actually matter to your audience all the way to hitting publish. Trust me, it's actually different from anything you tried before. You know what's interesting? Most YouTube advice starts with find an outlier video idea, but I'm going to tell you something different. That's actually not our priority. Our first step is understanding your why. Let me explain. When I was struggling with my previous channels, I was just copying what worked for others. But here's what I didn't realize. Those videos weren't getting views because I was missing the most crucial ingredient: purpose. Every successful creator who maintains long-term growth, this is important, long-term, not short-term, has one thing in common. It's not their camera quality, it's not their editing, or it's not their even personality. It's a crystal clear vision why they're making videos in the first place. For me, this realization came after hitting rock bottom in my own life. Like, my dad got scammed by my uncle, we fall into massive debt, and I was battling with depression and struggling to find purpose. And during those darkest times, YouTube was my only source of joy. And that's when I realized I don't want to make videos just to get views. I want to create content because I wanted to show people, no matter how hard life gets, believing in yourself and refusing to give up is the key to overcoming anything. This kind of like shift in mindset changed everything for me. So instead of starting with what's trending, I started to ask deeper questions. If I could share one message with the world, what would it be? Who am I truly trying to reach? And why? What transformation do I want to create in their lives? These kind of questions let me develop a framework that helps you discover your unique voice and message. It starts with reflecting on the 10 most impactful stories from your life, moments that shaped basically who you are today. By analyzing these stories, you'll find recurring themes that reveal your core mission and the unique value you can bring to your audience. I put a detailed guide that basically walks you through this entire process of finding your why and turning it content pillars for your channel. You can find it and you can download it free using the link in the description below. It's completely free. Trust me, spending time on this foundation will save you years of making videos that don't resonate. Now that you have your purpose clear, it's time to turn into an actual video ideas. So this is where basically understanding your audience's problems become crucial. I'm working with creators and I basically coach them one-on-one to grow their YouTube channel. And one thing I noticed is that most people often rush straight to trending topics. But the best video ideas actually come from deeply understanding the journey your audience is on. Let me share my process. First, I do what I call a problem brainstorm. Basically, I sit down and think about all the obstacles my audience faces in their journey. For example, if I'm creating content about personal growth, I think about the daily challenge they encounter. Like, what keeps them up at night? What makes them feel stuck? What do they wish they knew 5 years ago? But here's where creativity actually becomes important. It's not just about listing problems, it's about finding unique ways to address them. This is where basically being an active content consumer becomes crucial. When I watch videos on YouTube, I'm not just watching it for entertainment. I'm actually studying how different creators tackle problems. Maybe a cooking channel has an incredible way of breaking down, complex process that could work perfectly for explaining mindset shifts. Or maybe a travel vlog uses a unique transition or before and after that I could use to show personal transformation. Basically, creativity happens when you start combining these elements. Think about it like cooking. You have your main ingredient, the problem you're solving, but the way you prepare and present it makes it all the difference. A chef might take a basic pasta dish and elevate it by combining different techniques from different cuisines. So similarly, you can take a common problem your audience faces and present it in a way they've never seen before. This is where basically research becomes crucial, but not in a way most people think. You're not looking to copy what others are doing. You're looking for elements you can combine in new ways to better serve your audience. Let me explain how I find great video ideas by looking at different types of content for inspiration. So here's a real example. I made a video about learning languages while having a full-time job, and it got 280k views in 3 months. When making this video, I borrowed good ideas from different types of videos. First, I saw the fitness video that used a calendar and showed how busy people are, and this caught my attention right away. And then I came across a productivity video that showed someone writing looks better than just using still images. And I used a title format that worked well for my friend Izzy language learning video. This is why I love using the 1 of 10 tool, because instead of spending hours searching through videos yourself, 1 of 10 finds videos that get many more views than usual for that channel. You can easily look through different content and niches, find what works well, and search for successful thumbnail styles. 1 of 10 streamlines video research by automatically finding high-performing content across different niches, helping you identify and adapt successful elements. Once you have your initial idea, the next crucial step is what I call concept making. This is where basically many creators just dive right into scripting, but you need to wait. We need to first make sure this video will actually resonate with our audience and deliver real value. This is where I use something called AM/PM method. And no, it's not about making videos at different times of day. It's kind of like a framework that helps me ensure every video serves a clear purpose. First, let's talk about audience. This isn't just about demographics, age or location. It's more about understanding exactly who this specific video is for and what journey they are on. When I make a video, I ask myself, who is sitting down to watch this? What's happening in their life right now that made them click on this video? What are they hoping to learn or achieve? So for example, for this video, I'm speaking to creators like you who want to grow their YouTube channel, but feel lost in the content production process. They might not be maybe seeing the results that they want, or maybe they're just frustrated with generic advice about copying what's working. They're looking for a way to stand out while staying true to themselves. Next comes message. This is about getting crystal clear on what you are actually providing. What transformation will this video create? What will your viewer be able to do, understand, or feel differently after watching? The key here is basically being specific. Instead of saying this video will help people grow on YouTube, I get more detail. This video will help creators turn their unique life experiences into content that resonates deeply with their audience. And then we have P, which stands for point of difference. This is crucial in today's oversaturated YouTube, because ask yourself, why should someone watch your video instead of hundreds of others on the same topic? What unique perspective or approach are you bringing? For example, for this video, my point of difference is that I'm challenging the common just copy what works advice, because most YouTubers recommend copying or learning from trend videos and tweaking them slightly, but I'm showing how to start with your own unique perspective, personal branding first, and then think about the packaging that is working for others as an inspiration. And finally, we have M again, which is for manner and tone. This is about basically deciding how you will deliver your message. Will you use storytelling or step-by-step tutorial format? Maybe a challenge, maybe experiment. For this video, I'm using a combination of personal storytelling and practical teaching. Instead of just listing steps, I'm kind of trying to walk you through my journey of discovery, showing you my actual process and breaking it down to real examples. The key is choosing a delivery method that best serves your message and resonates with your audience. See how each element of AM/PM helps you clarify what we're creating and why. It's like having a roadmap for your video before you even start scripting. When you're clear on these 4 elements, everything else, from your hook to your B-roll, becomes much easier to plan. After using AM/PM to validate our concept, we need to start thinking about our title and thumbnail sketches. Think of your title and thumbnail hook as your video's elevator pitch. You're kind of trying to pitch your video to someone else. But one of the most common mistakes I see is that different audiences have different visual language. Let me explain. When you are creating educational content, your audience typically prefers a clean, straightforward thumbnails that clearly communicate the value. You're looking for expertise and solutions, not entertainment necessarily. On the other side, if you're creating content for a younger audience, they often respond better to more dynamic, more expressive thumbnails. You need to match your audience's preferred way of communicating. Many creators get caught up in creating complex, fancy thumbnails when they should be focusing on clarity. Your thumbnail and title need to do 3 key things. First, they need to specify the transformation or benefit, especially if you're in educational space. What will your viewer gain? When someone sees your thumbnail and title, they should immediately understand what's in it for them. In this video, for example, I'm promising you to show my complete process for creating videos that actually grow your channel. Second, you need to establish credibility. This is especially crucial when you're just starting out, because YouTube cares about initial audience reaction, so you could give people a reason to trust you from first glance. This could be through like showing results, maybe before and after, maybe sharing experience or demonstrating an expertise. And finally, focus on your unique selling proposition. What makes your video different from others on the same topic? This doesn't mean creating complicated designs. It means making it easy for viewers to spot what sets your content apart. The goal isn't to create the most artistic aesthetic thumbnail or like eye-catching, most marketing clever title or something. It's more about like making it absolutely clear to your ideal viewer that this video will help them solve their problem or achieve their goal. The best ones don't just look aesthetic, they make it obvious what's being offered and why you should even care. Next comes what I call the brain dump. This is where I let my mind wander. I write down everything, every point I want to make, every question I think needs answering, every example that might help explain my message. Don't filter anything at this stage. Like, you can always remove things later. What we're trying to do is that we're trying to capture any idea that is in your brain that we can use for a video. Once I have all my thoughts like on a paper, I create a rough outline. I oftentimes find myself oversharing, so this is a crucial process to prevent that happening. I look at all the ideas from my brain dump and I ask myself, what does my audience actually need to know to achieve the transformation I promised for that video? Like, what can I say for another video? The goal isn't to share everything, it's to share exactly what your viewer needs in a way that they can easily digest and implement. Because sometimes the most valuable thing you can do is leave something out so that you won't overwhelm people. Now, let's talk about research. This is actually one of my favorite parts of content creation because it's where you really develop depth in your understanding. I have somewhat kind of like an intense approach to research that might, surprise you. But for every video I make, I usually read 1 book about the topic, often 2 or 3 if time allows. I personally value videos that deep dive rather than just like sharing the basics. So I also explore online forums, watch relevant videos, listen to podcasts to understand the ongoing discussions and have different perspectives. And when researching, I focus on 3 main things. First, I look for ways to explain complex information in a simple, easy to understand format. And second, I identify the most important points that viewers should focus on. And third, finally, I check for any gaps in my own knowledge to make sure I fully understand what I'm talking in the video. And since I'm a visual learner, I found like regular note-taking things didn't work for me. So I use a whimsical diagram to make a mind map. And these kind of like visual mind maps actually helps me see how different ideas connect to each other. And looking at the information this way helps me spot the connections I might have missed otherwise. Finding patterns in successful content becomes easier when you look at different types of videos and channels. The 1 of 10 has helpful feature for this. You can search for popular thumbnail styles and find videos that get more views than usual. You can also save your favorite examples to look at later using the bookmark feature. One of my favorite part is random discovery tool. It basically shows you like successful videos you might not have found on your own. And the best way to make your content stand out is to combine good ideas from different places in a new ways. To help you get it started, I have a discount code that you can use. And thank you 1 of 10 for sponsoring this video. The best part about doing deep research is that it helps in 2 ways. First, it makes your videos much better. And second, you learn a lot yourself. Each video you make is a chance to learn something new and then teach it to others in a way that they can easily understand. Like, it's really rewarding in my opinion because you get to be both student who learns and the teacher who shares the knowledge. Now let's talk about writing your hook. I follow a simple hook formula that makes sure viewers stick around and get the value we basically prepare for them. In my opinion, every strong hook needs 3 key ingredients. First is proof. Why should viewers trust what you are about to tell them? You need to establish your credibility by showing either your results or your relevant experience. sometimes both. The second is promise. You need to confirm that this video will give them what they come from. This is where you clearly state what transformation or value they'll get from watching. And the third is plan. This is where you set expectations for what's coming next, like giving them a quick roadmap of the video. Sometimes I also add stakes to help viewers understand what they might be missing on if they don't have this information and don't watch this, but like this is optional. And let me show you exactly how I use this formula in this video so you can rewatch. I started first by acknowledging a common frustration. If you have been trying to grow on YouTube, you probably heard this advice 1,000 times. Just look at what's working and make your own version, right? And then I established proof in 2 ways. First, I've been where they are, after 4 failed channels and countless videos that barely hit 1,000 views. And then I demonstrated my success. This approach took me to 0 to 100k subscribers in just 3 months, and then to 1 million in 2 years. And for the promise, I made it clear what they will learn. I said, I'm taking you behind the scenes of my complete video making process, from finding ideas that actually matter to your audience all the way to hitting publish. I even also added like a potential skepticism head on. Some people look at my looks and think it's because of that. And finally, I laid out the plan. So today I'm going to show you the behind the scenes of like the complete video, blah, blah, blah. So as you can see, each element works together to build trust and set clear expectations. This formula works because it quickly answers the 3 questions every viewer has. Can you help me? What will I learn? How will you teach me? That's it. After you have your hook ready, it's time for the full script. Now, writing a script that keeps viewer engaged is an art itself. There's like a lot of goes into, from storytelling techniques to maintaining the right pacing. I've actually put together a detailed writing guide, completely free, that walks you through my entire scripting process. You can get it free using a link in the description below. After finishing your script, it's time to look at your titles and thumbnail ideas again. You might ask, why wait until now? The reason is, after writing your full script, you often come up with better ideas for presenting your content than you had at first. Then when you finish writing, you have a clear picture of what your video will teach people, how you will teach it, and also the journey that your viewers will take. So this better understanding helps me create titles and thumbnails that really show what makes the video valuable. Now let's talk about filming your video. There are basically 3 main things you need to record. First, your main video, which is A-roll, and then supporting video clips, which is B-roll, and photos for your thumbnail. For your main video, A-roll, just be yourself and speak naturally. Whether you are reading from a teleprompter or remembering your script, pretending like you're explaining things to a friend who stands behind the camera. And for B-rolls, I'm quite lazy when it comes to listing down B-roll shots. So I put my actual script into AI and I asked for B-roll shots, and I asked it to create a shot list and categorize it based on shot type, location, and any additional info. When it comes to thumbnail photos, don't just use a random frame from your video, okay? Plan a specific photos that will make great thumbnails. I take photos on those thumbnail sketches that I mentioned earlier, and I always take several different versions, trying different facial expressions, maybe camera angles, poses, and setups, and it gives me a plenty of option to choose from later. The secret to smooth filming is planning everything before you start. I know it's boring, but think about it, it's like cooking. Basically, you want to have all your ingredients while you're cooking and not go to the supermarket every single time you missed an ingredient, It's like that. Let's talk about editing your video. If you have an editor, remember one important thing. Be very clear about what you want. Tell them exactly how you want the video to look, because they can't guess what's in your mind, okay? Unless you worked with them for years, you need to spell out exactly what you want. I actually edited all my videos until 500k subscribers. So don't worry if you can't hire an editor, that's completely fine. You can still grow. And you don't need expensive software either. I use Final Cut Pro, but any basic editing program works well. And what matters is having a systematic approach. And this is my simple editing process. First, cut out any repetitive parts and get your A-roll tight and flowing. And once your A-roll is solid, then add B-roll where it enhances the understanding. And then add text overlays where they help clarify points. And finally, layer in some music and sound effects. The key is giving yourself a deadline, and I usually spend 4 to 6 hours editing videos each. Were they as polished as my videos now? No, but did we still grow to 500,000? Yes, so it worked. Actually actually value beats like production quality every single time. So just make sure your audio is clear and you're good to go. And when it comes to thumbnails, I actually still edit like 99% of them myself, and I use Canva for that. I don't even know how to use Photoshop. Sometimes I'll hire a freelancer for complex Photoshop work if I'm short on time or if it's beyond my skills. But I noticed that I just get better results when I create them myself. It's probably because like I'm so deeply involved in the creative process and I know the exact message that I'm trying to communicate. After uploading your video, the first few hours really matter. I spend about an hour replying to early comments because these viewers are your biggest supporters. These comments help you build relationships with your viewer and understand them better. And I realized that like many big YouTubers don't actually reply to their viewers, but you know, your channel grows because real people like it and engage with your videos, not because of like a complex algorithm, you know? So when people really connect with their video, YouTube is more likely to show it to others too. You know, because like without your audience, you can't become an YouTuber. It's not that algorithm pushes you out, it's that people like your video and based on their response, YouTube algorithm pushes to new people. So always take care of your audience and don't act like the random people watching it, your audience actually watches them. And I check 3 main things to see how well my videos are doing. First, I look at how long people watch my videos. This shows me like which parts they like and which parts make them stop watching. Basically, when you're talking to someone, you know, if they start looking at their phone, maybe that part of the conversation wasn't that interesting. It's same with videos. And I also read the comments, like what are people asking about? What did they like most or maybe not dislike it? Sometimes one comment like can give me a great idea for a video or show me something that I missed. And lastly, I compare like how each video does compared to my other videos. But I don't just look at numbers. I try to understand why. Like, was it the topic, the way maybe I explain things, or maybe the thumbnail? Like every video needs to teach you something new. And you don't need to make perfect videos to grow on YouTube. Like look back at my videos. You just need to make videos that help people be willing to keep learning and getting better. If you found this behind the scenes look helpful, I created something special for you. It's a free 7-day YouTube crash course where I break down the common myths that hold creators back and share the crucial elements you should actually focus on and forget about. Each day you'll receive an email packed with actionable insights plus additional free guides to help you implement what you have learned. It's basically like me coaching you for a week about YouTube. You can sign up using the link in the description below. It's completely free. And don't forget to also grab those other free resources that I mentioned, the guide about finding your unique purpose and the complete writing guide. All of them are in the description. And if you want to dive deeper into my title and thumbnail creation, you can watch that video right here. Thank you for watching and I'll see you soon.